guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Emily and my channel is all about memory keeping, and today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I have been really bad about filming videos and taking pictures and sharing my layouts, but I have been creating. And so what I decided to do is I wanted to just share all of my layouts and kind of talk about them really briefly, one by one. Nothing is like so crazy that you couldn't figure out my process. That's probably true with all of my layouts. I'm not a super complicated scrapbooker, but what I wanted to do is just kind of go through each of them one by one and talk about them a little bit. So the first one, a lot of these are from the Ali Edwards Currently story kit, and I am not exaggerating when I tell you I could have this theme every month and still tell I think the best stories. I'm absolutely obsessed with this kit, and because I have the digital version of the kit, I feel like it can just be limitless. I think I'm going to be using this a lot, far beyond March when it came out. So the first layout, I kind of designed this as a 2-page spread. This journaling does relate to this layout, but I actually don't really feel like they mesh as well. I wish I would have done these in this color, like rotate, green, blue, dark green. But whatever, it's done. And this was mostly made digitally because right now I'm actually just doing the digital story kits from Ali Edwards. I do sort of miss having the physical products, so I may change back to getting the physical products, and I may do both. I may have the physical kit and the digital kit, just depending on how much I want, we'll see. I need to think about that. But I would say a couple of things that I missed that I wish I had in the physical kit is they had this, she had this felt flower, and there were a couple of different sizes, and I thought they would have looked really good there. But anyway, the story is about my mom, my poor little mama who had surgery, and I took her up there, and it went well, but it was a little bit more complicated, and she lost a lot of blood, and they had to keep her overnight, and it was just, kind of a crazy couple of days, but I was so happy that she was okay, and we had kind of like a nice mother-daughter bonding couple of days, so it was really cute. So that's sort of what my journaling there is about. What I did in this part, I may share digital or like a how-to hybrid scrapbooking if you guys are interested. What I did is actually in InDesign, but it would work in Photoshop as well. I just made a bunch of rectangles and I moved them sort of at I don't remember what the degrees was, but I tried to align them to be all the same degrees and made them different shapes. And then I just filled each shape with a different photo in this case, and then pattern in this case, and then I printed them out separately so that it still would have a little bit of dimension, because what I don't like is when a page is just totally flat, just all inked. I don't like that. That is not my style. So even though I made this pretty much entirely digitally, I still wanted there to be a little bit of mixed media on that. It's still a little bit more flat than I would like, but what can you do? The next page, this is also made with the Currently kit. Let me get this out of here. But it doesn't really say the words currently, other than this is a digital stamp from the Currently story stamp set, which is just a digital stamp that I put on here. And I love this. And actually, this new sort of like lighter handwriting in this kit, and I think the last couple, I'm just obsessed with it. I love it. But obviously this is a very heavy layout. So I sort of realized when I was telling stories about what's going on currently in my life, I really wanted to share, how important I love documenting current events anyway, and this is such a major event, and just I realized how much it was weighing on me, and I really wanted to sort of get my thoughts and feelings out there and put, even though we're still in the middle of it, sort of the timeline through current of what's going on, because I think the perspective of living something right now versus looking back on it can be really, really effective. And that's one thing that I think the Currently story kit sort of forced me to do, because sometimes I want to wait for things to play out before I document them. But this really encouraged me to just tell things even if I'm in sort of still the middle of it. Not that I personally am in the middle of it, but the way it's affected me and how I'm, worried about people and stressed and sad and gutted, wanted to document that as well. This one was so these circles came from a journaling card in the Currently kit, and I extracted this circle from them as well. So I laid the white transparent circle, I think it's like transparent at 80%, to lay over these photos, and then I printed the photos on photo paper, cut them out, and then these are all just printed on. It's a little more of a flat page than I would like again, but it makes it so much easier. I thought about trying to cut these out and then glue them on, but I thought it was, you know what, it's more important to get these stories told than to have like a perfect page. So I was really happy with how this one turned out, even though it's such a heavy topic. Next, another currently story kit. So story kit layout. So this one is, it's all about just sort of like various stories about right now. I'm like a very detailed journaler. I write a lot, and so I am always looking for ways that I can include lots of text in a way that still looks okay. So just sort of some stories, my in-laws visiting, working out in the mornings. I just loved that picture of my cat on our workout bench while my husband's doing some, I don't know, workout something. Sushi night. And then this actually was what inspired me. I realized, okay, currently how the war in Ukraine is affecting me. And I realized, you know what, this is not enough to document that. So again, I know a lot of you guys do this too, but I think it's okay to have multiple, like the same story represented multiple times. I do that a lot, and I really I don't have any problem doing that. I will document the same story 3 different times using different photos. I think your words are going to be different even from hour to hour, day to day, when you're thinking about things like that, especially something so heavy. So okay, and then just so you guys know what I do when I make the layouts like this, because these need to go through the computer, like this is printed directly onto the layout, then I just adhere it. It's just a blank back, but I just adhere it into my little notebook that I have. But these are all 9x12, so these would easily fit into a page protector, but I don't really do that currently, although I do. I've got some things to share. Okay, that one we already talked about. So speaking of, I know I've been saying for a while that I'm not really a pocket page scrapbooker, which is true, but I was kind of inspired to try it, especially, so here's what I've done. I started a travel album. Let me push pause really quick. Okay, so something that kind of bogs me down is events that I have a lot of photos for, because I just do sort of this simple storytelling in my notebook. It's almost like a story album, but it's in a paper notebook, and it doesn't have a ton of room, and it gets really thick super easy. So I have to kind of be easy on what I put in there. I end up with like a lot of photos from our travels that I didn't have a home for. So something that I started is a travel album, which I have never done before. I've always sort of prided myself on being a mono album person, which I don't know why was a point of pride for me. I think it just meant that a lot of my stories from travel were not getting told, and I was trying to kind of truncate down and pick only like 1 or 2 photos from the trip, when in reality, I love seeing all the different photos and the different memories. So if you guys are interested, I'll film a flip through of this pocket page. I am by no means do not hold myself out as any kind of expert, because I just started doing this for I did a couple of pocket pages before, but it really wasn't a major part of my memory keeping. So anyway, okay. So this is one that I'm going to have in there, even though I know this is a full page photo. I can't help myself. I love big photos. So this photo was from last summer when we took this like cool trip up in Washington, and Washington State, and we drove around and we stayed on Lake Washington. This one, it was in my head, it was going to be a little more centered, but it was fine. So I just kind of propped up my phone on the dock, like I think on a water bottle or something, and then just took a picture of my husband and I drinking coffee on our dock. But it's obviously more me than him, which was not my intent, but it's fine. So anyway, and then I put a little bit of journaling here, stamped this out, and then just cut it out, rounded the corners, and then it matches with this sort of double-sided pocket page. So this, well, I guess I still haven't filled in all of that, but whatever. Pictures of our food, our games that we were playing, more pictures from the dock, which is I think where we spent like 90% of that vacation. And a couple of things that I've learned, the error of my ways. I think pocket page scrapbooking is awesome. I'm really having a fun time with it. What I thought I didn't like is I like texture, like I like how this is above the page, and I like having multiple textures. But I've sort of realized that I can do that even with a page protector, because I could have stuck this on the outside of a page protector. B, I can mix and match. Like for this, I stuck this chipboard on the outside of the page protector. And see, you know, both can exist, and I think that that's okay. That's sort of what I'm learning. So anyway, picture of our little Airbnb. Some pictures of just us being out in nature, more pictures from the dock. Like I said, that was pretty much the whole trip, and it was wonderful. Yeah, so this is a Studio Calico kit primarily. So this is Ali Edwards. It's just sort of a hodgepodge of things that I had in my stash, but I wanted to share this because I am really enjoying it, and I think that for me, for at least right now, and like things could change, but I think that I'm going to continue to use Pocket Pages for travel. I think that that's just a great use for it. Okay, last thing I'm going to share for right now, the pages that I created this month. Another Pocket Page. So this is a trip that we took in December. And again, I had so many photos of it that I didn't do anything with. This was like I don't know if it was a coaster, like a drink, I don't know, but it was the logo of the hotel. We had so much fun on this trip. We ate a million good foods and we just had a great time. So, and pretty much what we did is we just ate food and we read a million books. And so I still had this kit from, gosh, last November from Studio Calico. It was like my favorite kit and I was hoarding it. I don't know why. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to wait for the perfect layout, which never comes. But actually this time I got so lucky because it did come, and I thought the colors were so perfect, and it was just like this cozy, low-key 4-day trip where we just stayed in the hotel and ate food and read books and hiked one day, which is not really our thing, but it was so fun. And I think that's it. So those are the pages I made in March. Let me know what you guys think of this format of just kind of sharing. Even though it is a little bit lighter later in the day, it still sometimes is hard to get good light for me to film stuff. So I've been just kind of struggling to film process videos, but I'm still committed to making them because I enjoy them and I think you guys like them too. But for right now, because I didn't get any footage of these layouts, yeah, I'm curious to hear what you guys think of just sort of talking about them, sort of how I made them. Feel free to leave me any questions down below. Would love to hear from you guys, and I will see you in my next video.